What's up, y'all? It's your boy Frank Sirius, a.k.a. Scooby, a.k.a. the Godson. Once again, man, with my partner,
Dirk from DC Vibe.
And together we are SiriusVybe Primetime.
Listen here, man. We keep telling you to get your cabins from March 30th through April the 5th. We cruising the Caribbean. It's the SiriusVybe and Friends cruise. How can they get their cabins, Scooby?
Y'all can get y'all cabins at SiriusVybe-cruise.com. That's SiriusVybe-cruise.com, man. SiriusVybe-cruise.com. We got Secret Society. Who else we got?
We got Black Alley.
Black Alley.
Uh-huh.
We got
DJ 59.
DJ 59.
Who the other DJ?
DJ Dirty Rico.
And who hosting?
Capri Monique. And of course you got Serious Vibe. So you know it's gonna be a serious vibe. So go get your cabins, man, soon.
Now.
Today.
Right now.
To evening.
Huh?
Yes, Lord.
Tonight.
Yeah. Make sure y'all shoot y'all info, man.
This morning.
Yeah. Speaking of shooting.
Huh?
Speaking of shooting us info.
Okay.
Who we got on the show today, man?
Man, we got my guy, owner, since 1997, Shooter Sports.
Shooter Sports in the building, man. Y'all say what's up to my man, Shooter's Rob.
What's good, y'all? It's your boy Shooter Rob, 27 years in the business, man. Happy to be here, man.
Yes, sir. So hold up, let's get right to it, man. Look, was it Shooter's Rob or Shooter Rob?
Shooter Rob, with just Shooter Rob.
Shooter Rob.
Yep.
Now, was it ever, because it's shooters on the shirt. So when did you take the S off for your name, or like how that work?
Man, it was just a nickname given to me early in the game. We took the S off. It was Shooter Rob. So it was just one person.
Okay.
And on that, right, explain that the shooter part of the brand is not in any way for violence.
So yeah, when we first started out, of course, the name Shooters in itself, it just was a slick name. To be honest with you, the name was just a catchy name, and I was like, man, that's a monster. And I, after really developing the name, we started having parents come in and ask, what does this name mean? Mm-hmm. And we really I had to think about it and really, just like anything else, you wanted to put something positive. And over the years, God gave us a revelation more so to just never stop shooting for your goals. Yeah. Right. So it started out with just shooters. The name was just cool. After that, we had to, just transform, but just mature into something positive and make sure we wasn't tearing down the community with a negative name. And man, we took that negative and turned it into a positive. That's what we need to do in our community. That was real heavy. So we had the opportunity to change that whole narrative on the name.
So the parents made you change it?
Well, just the community. I ain't gonna say that. The community in itself gave me a reason to actually give it some meaning.
I got you.
So, we more than a clothing line, we a way of life, man. We're encouraging everybody to not stop shooting for your goals. So originally it started out as a clothing line, and now it's a way of life. So
that's what's up, man. Did you ever consider changing the name based on a negative connotation, or? Nah. I know that's the reason the Bullets changed their name. I forgot the owner's name, passed away. Come on, man, I didn't know the guy. The Bullets owner.
Yeah, him.
Yeah, him. I'm sorry, I'm having a brain fart, but he changed the Bullets name for that reason because of so much violence was going on around the city. So you never thought about changing the name. You just put a positive spin on it.
Put a positive spin on it and kept it going. The name actually originated in Virginia State. Okay. Right. I went to school, went to Easton, graduated.
Shout out to Easton.
Shout out to Easton. Go Ramblers, the Big E. Nevertheless, man, it was, at that time, it was just crazy. City under siege and all the crazy stuff that was going on. Went to Virginia State, had a couple buddies from Virginia State who had the name of the store, which was Shooters. Mm-hmm. One of my guys from over Northeast Trinidad, one of my guys from up New York, another guy from Alexandria, and another guy from Baltimore. Long story short, that store had its little troubles down there. And they end up closing it down. You know, emergency just closed down. You know, with the law, and nevertheless, they was done with the name. And the way we do clothing is similar to the way New York does music, right? Back then, that was our thing. And I told them I wanted to, you know, reopen the store and do it the way we did it. Same way Madness had it, you know, DDTP. We really developed different brands around the whole thing. And they gave me their blessing. They was done with it, of course, because they had some of the other headaches down there. They gave me their blessing. And that's how Shooters really just gave birth right here. We just started back up.
So go ahead, my bad.
So your first store was in Southeast on Pennsylvania Avenue.
First store, yep.
So before that, were you selling out of the trunk, or you just went straight to the brick and mortar?
Straight to brick and mortar for the most part. After that, I did go into the vans and moved around the neighborhoods as a way to promote, but I started out with just brick and mortar. So I knew, you know, at that time I was, you know, it was just a transition. I had graduated from school, got a degree, took me 6 years, but nevertheless got a degree in business management out of Virginia State, came back home, and this was what was going on. This whole DC culture, this DMV culture is so rich. This is what was happening back then, you know, and we were doing clothing. It was a way for us to really, you know, transition into business. So, man, I've been blessed to be able to just, you know, I knew I'd be 27 years, but you know, I took a chance, man, and started right there, Pennsylvania Avenue. That was around my neighborhood. So, you know, that opportunity opened up and just cracked them doors.
So you got 2 degrees?
Nah, just one.
In 6 years?
Yeah, 6 years. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
He's a super senior.
Super senior. If it was up to me, I would still be in school. I swear, man. Yeah, real talk.
Yeah, to push you out.
Pretty much, man. But, you know, that time came.
Yeah.
And, man, shit, I'm glad it did. But transitioned and had this opportunity to actually become an entrepreneur and become a part of this culture, you know.
Yeah.
So that's the real blessing, man.
As a fashion, I guess we can call you an icon after 27 years in the town. You know what I mean? Like, I put you right up there with Madness and, of course, All Days, and, you know, right there is the Shooters. You know what I mean?
Yes, sir.
And the museum guys have come along.
Yep.
You got Mitch Craft with the Love DC Gogo brand has really spawned it and took over their own thing. But for you, as a brand owner, how important is it, I guess, for reinventing yourself, reinventing the looks, and be able to transcend over what now almost 3 decades? Because fashion changes so much.
Fashion changes so much, but just being an entrepreneur, just as you guys are, you know, and following the trends of the culture, you know, that's how we've been able to be able to pivot into whatever it was that was happening. You get a lot of requests from, of course, your patrons to do different things, you know. So it's times when, you know, we've done it all. If y'all think back to how Hobo actually started with the fighters and different things like that, you know, it's so, this culture is so rich. Sometimes we forget about the legacy of how some of the stuff started, man.
Yeah.
And you know, I just think back, man. For me, it was Madness. Paying homage definitely to Madness, because they were one of those first brands that actually set up and had their own name.
Yeah.
Zotan, DDTP. Zoe did it well. Even in Maryland, you had Abstract Sports, Darwin, and you know, we forget about a lot of the guys that have not been able to. Hobo, John, man. And
John and Andrew. Shout out to John and Andrew, man.
Shout out to John. John reached out, man, and I was able to talk to him. We all one. Kenny, you know, all these guys, man, really paved the way for us, man. And for me, it's extremely exciting watching that new generation, right?
Yeah.
That museum break down those barriers of just what we can do. I think the first person that really kind of just that I really kind of looked and kind of got me really motivated again, because sometimes you fall into a lull as an entrepreneur. You just get complacent.
Yeah.
And I'm sure you guys face that at times. But was Eat, the Eat brand, Malik.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, Eat had, man, they was hell of a
It was
run.
on fire, you know, and that's part of it, man. Then seeing Museum coming out of that, seeing Mitch Craft doing their thing, man, it's a beautiful thing, man, to watch that pass that torch, or really just to see the next generation continue the legacy of what you building here. Like I said, you guys, let me give y'all flowers as well, man. Real talk, man. Two things I definitely admire about you guys, being able to work together. From this city, it's tough being in the same genre and actually working together, man. You guys find a way to make that work. So, man, I salute y'all for that. As man, stepping into something different, right? Because you guys are opening up the doors with this podcast, right? And nobody's done that before, especially from the Gogo community. Right. And you give people a platform to actually talk about different things, man. And that's big, man. You know, and that baton hopefully will get passed to someone else, but at least inspire somebody else to say, hey, man, you know, we can do it too. And so, man, just watching this younger generation, or the next generation, should I say, do what they do has also been inspirational for me, you know, because, man, I truly like to see us win. That's the big thing. I really love to see us win, you know.
Yeah, well, you've been winning for 27 years now, man.
Yeah, I mean, I can rightfully say I seen part of your pivot, right? Because back in the day, you was known to be like one of the brands that's going to have 6X. And
absolutely.
Man, like 6 extra large?
6X.
Absolutely.
Yeah, 6X. So they, you know, the guys that, you know, was on the other side, they had some gear that they can wear too and still be urban, right?
Yeah.
But now, you know, the youth is around, and then he got to sell to them now, right? And they was wearing their clothes a little, you know, a little more slug.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
We all kind of adjusted.
Yeah, but he had to pivot in his design and create that look for them.
Well, you know the crazy thing about that, and it's funny you said that. Fashion, basically, nobody's going to recreate a hoodie or sweatpants, right? We can put our own twist on it. We decorate it the way we want. And, you know, different people follow different brands. But back then, we were wearing stuff big. And, man, you know, we were at Diamond Mall, and we didn't carry anything under extra large. The smallest guy will buy extra large or 4X. You like, God damn. But, I mean, that was the trend of what it was. And it's funny because a lot of the youth didn't realize. I mean, you're right. We had to pivot because the youth was like, you know, when they started wearing fitted clothes, we were all the way out the market. So just trying to make stuff down to a large, they're like, y'all don't make shit over extra large. And it was real. But it was following the trends. Fashion goes in and out of those same trends, man. And as y'all see, some of the baggy stuff is coming back. So, you know.
Even with that, too, I think, you know, like, sometimes, you know, in DC, even when they say music, right, we be the last to get it. It's because we sometimes fall short on the market research. Right? Because you can look at other places and see a wave is on the way. And if you get in front of the curveball, then you'll actually be, you know, you can actually start that trend, but nobody really know you started it.
Yeah, I think that got something to do with like DC just his own ecosystem. You know what I mean? Like, we got our own stars, we got our own people that we look up to and follow. And, you know, historically, we've been known for our own fashion, our own hair, and our own music.
That's real.
You know what I mean?
That's real.
So you looking at other places, it's like, I hate to say it like that, but DC always looked at everybody else like Bama's.
Yeah. No, that was real. That's real.
You know what I mean?
We have a culture that's really so rich, man. Man, that sometimes I don't think we realize it. And if we actually pull together, somebody told me, man, stronger together. But if we really pull together,
Who said that?
Man.
Not mad school.
Good friend of mine, man.
I mean, Dirk, you know, he made up the whole phrase. Actually, he made up the actual words. This says, we are stronger together. Like, he coined that phrase.
That's real.
Yeah, and he let Kamala Harris use it for the 2024.
Good job, Dirk.
Yeah. So, you know, shout out to Dirk, man. Let's give it up for Dirk, man. Making up that phrase. Kamala Harris, Madam Vice President, we thank you for using Dirk's phrase, we are stronger together.
Hey, but reality though, honestly, man, we gotta pull our shit together, man.
Yeah, no, it's definitely.
Because, man, as our culture is so rich, man, there was a time where you could tell where we was from.
Right.
Right? Outside of this area. you know, people travel to the fights, travel different places, right? And then we had such a unique style that people could say, oh, yeah, y'all from D.C. That people went away to college, you from D.C. Just by the way we dress. Whether it be the New Balance, whether it be our gear. But we had our own culture. We got our own music. It's rich. And
you think it's different now?
I think it's swayed a little bit. But, I mean, I think that we got to preserve it by giving back to the youth. You know, make sure that culture stays there. You know.
I mean, of course it is, though, because the influence is coming from the internet.
Of course, yeah.
Absolutely.
Right. So, you know,
and it's not isolated to just DC.
Yeah.
Right.
You know what I mean? You see different cultures around the world being changed or being swayed towards whatever the norm is on TikTok, for instance. You know what I mean? So DC is not isolated from that. I call it a problem because, you know, when I go to Jamaica, I used to love seeing Jamaicans be Jamaicans.
Yeah.
And now it's like, you know, you go down there and you see a whole lot of
Americanized
dudes looking like they want to be hip hop artists. You know what I mean? So,
absolutely.
and that's all come from the TV and the internet and whatever else they being influenced by.
Well, the beauty of y'all platform, what y'all doing, it preserves the culture. You know what I'm saying? Right. It really preserves the culture. I mean, people don't look at it as serious as it is, but as I watch y'all, I'm like, this is what it's really about. You know, but then finding that next generation and being able to give it to them, right? With just as a gift so that they understand this is what this is all about. You know, we don't want Gogo to die. We don't want our fashion trends to die from this culture. Right. And you see people like Museum breaking those barriers, right? And you're like, damn, man, that's beautiful, man, because every time you see them elevate and go to the next level, it just lets you know. It should inspire us that guess what? This is possible. Yeah. I would like to see them on that national brand. I was like, I'll share like talking to Kenny from We Are One back in the day and John from Hobo, man. They would say, you know, we not competing against you. Man. We all from the same area. This is not what we competing against. We want to compete on a national level with everybody. Right. So we have friendly competitions. I know me and Kurt Bone, we'd be down at Bury Farms playing the games, and it was great promotion for us, for both our brands. But it was always kept as a, you know, friendly competition. Nothing that was, you know, we going at each other. Yeah. And it was an issue. You know, although the clothing line started off territorial. I mean, I'm not sure whether y'all knew that. Everybody from different
absolutely, yeah.
quadrants of the city, all the way to Maryland was just different. Everybody wore that. And so after having those conversations with them, you know I wanted to sell to the whole city, not just Southeast. I want to sell to the whole city. And then even thinking bigger than that, man, you know, want to see, you know, we should be competing on a national level because that's how rich our culture is. Y'all are setting that trend to be able to work together. And I feel like, man, if more of us do that, man, this culture will
unstoppable.
Yeah.
Unstoppable,
man, I'm
bro.
proud of you, man.
Yeah.
Unstoppable.
I'm proud of you too, bro.
I'm proud of you.
Man,
yes,
salute.
We stronger together.
Stronger together.
Hey,
salute, yeah.
So speaking on that, right? So you know, like as we get older, we get more mature. Right? We done some bonehead things. That was a rewind.
Ain't no rewinding that, nigga.
All right. Pause.
That nigga gotta take a drink to that.
Bonehead, huh?
Yeah, we done some things that, you know, we might have done differently. So let's talk about the deal you had on the table with the Jewish guys up in New York?
Absolutely.
Yeah, let's talk about that. Let the people know.
So salute to when I tell you guys that, you know, Museum, man, I have a good relationship with Greg and Muhammad, and man, that whole Museum team. Long story short, I had deals on the table back in the day, not understanding the dynamics of the deal or not even really being prepared for those deals. I passed on them. I passed on them because, you know, just an arrogance, man. That's where as the other thing is, man, just learning to be humble now.
You was on your DC shit, bro.
On my DC shit, you know. I'm going to New York. They was offering me shit, and I was like, But nevertheless, man, learning a big lesson I learned in that was being humble. But it was funny revisiting that deal. I passed on that deal. Greg from Museum, man, I said, man, I want to revisit the deal. Greg at the time was really good friends with some of the Jewish guys' son.
Okay.
Walked me right back into the offices to revisit some of those deals. At the time, you know, going through those recessions and different things, and they didn't do it. But man, I commend, when I tell you I got the utmost respect for those dudes, man.
Yeah, because they didn't have to do it.
He ain't had to do it.
Right.
But good young men, when you say the future mogul and different things, man, to see them do what they do, I'm telling you, it's truly inspiring to me, man.
Yeah, the grind.
They grind, man. They hold that whole fortitude of what they doing, knocking down doors, actually, you know, being able to collaborate with people, man.
Yeah.
And that's the biggest thing, man, getting out our own way, man, and really making these collaborations. We may think we, you know, bigger than what the situation is, man, and the universe and God will give you what you want if you know, but you got to be able to receive it as well. So, you know, sometimes you look at the messenger or the way it come and we kind of frown at it, man. Watching you guys talking with Bear and the Gogo Live and redoing, man, it got to be done, man. It's just getting out of each other's way and making the shit happen, making more history, man, because that's going to give the youth the idea, because it's been how many years?
Yeah.
And so they don't get the experience what we experienced when we did the Gogo Live, going to the Gogo Live and watching that shit. They need to see that.
It inspired a whole generation for real.
It did. So, man, it's just, man, really, man, honestly, just, man, getting in tune with yourself, man, and following, you know, what you feel in your heart, man.
Right.
Yeah.
So
I see y'all.
So what was that deal you had?
I'm about to say, what year was that?
Yeah, with the deal.
The deal was, I believe, 2007, right? It was a licensing deal.
Okay. At the time, you 10 years in the business.
10 years in, and probably doing 7 figures a year and still breaking the law. And so, like you said, I'm on my DC thing, and they came to me with a whole 10% for it. Had to put two of my 10% back into marketing. One of the guys who was putting the deal together actually told me, he said, I'm taking a point out of that 10%. He wanted a point on one side, which was, he said, I'm getting a point over there, but I will also want a point for you, which means I was only getting 7%.
Right.
And then when clothes went to some of the they're not the majors, but like the Burlington coat factories and stuff like that, you only get 4%. So you gotta, but not understanding that these people were in the position.
It was mass production.
Oh, it's mass production. The guy who actually took the deal, I knew, was a guy from Queens, and if y'all remember, it was where they had all the NBA logos all over the jeans and all the other stuff. So it was Unkware. Man, and I think they ended up doing like $20 million. So 10%.
But them ugly ass jeans.
Them ugly ass jeans and them jackets, but $20 million on the national, even 10% of that is $2 million. There's a difference between $2 million going through and you paying expenses and then getting a royalty check or something like that for $2 million. So that kind of haunted me. And it did haunt me, to be honest with you, because I kind of got focused on that. It's funny you said that. I got focused on that. And that was one of the things, like, dang, kind of had to prove to myself, like, you know, you kept going, but still I'm sitting there buying cars and all the other shit that I thought I would do when I got that deal. And, you know, running around here and really lost focus on the actual thing. I mean, you see a lot of independent music people do different things, and you like, man, you know, that didn't work out as of yet for me. So, you know, I'm still in the grind. And like I said, watching some of the youth, what they doing also inspires me to let me know I still got time, you know, long as I'm getting up every day, hey, I still got time to do what it is. So
yeah, you must be getting some real money back then. Cause you didn't see it. I mean, cause I heard you say something about breaking the law.
I don't promote that.
Nah. I know. Yeah.
Yeah. So why was he bringing it up again?
I mean, he said it. He brought it up.
No, real
he
talk.
said he wanted to say it. Then that was just a
Man,
part
look,
of
this
the
is Serious
statement.
Vibe podcast. We get into the bottom of it. You know what I mean? So it's not promoting it. I think people understanding your story will understand your story. You know what I mean? So that's a part of you. That's a part of your story.
It is.
You prevailed. You came out on the other side of it.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So I think it's important for our youth and our adults alike to hear the real side of what we go through every day, what you feel like you had to do versus what you needed to do versus what you wanted to do. And here you are, standing 10 toes down.
Absolutely.
Still with your brand after 27 years. So
27.
So it's not promoting what you had or felt like you had to do, but I'm sure a lot of that 27 years, early part of them 27 years, breaking the law in certain ways help keep the lights on. You know what I'm saying? So
man, through the grace of God, man, I once again, man, giving the Most High all the honor, man, because I'm not smarter or sharper than anybody. I've had a brick and mortar for 27 years, and man, not promoting any negativity, but by the same token, I don't really. It is what it is. Like you say, it is what it is, man. That was the culture even when I grew up, and so, man, blessed with degrees from Virginia State, but also had a grind. I'm straight from Southeast, man. Single family mom, you know what I'm saying? Got shuffled around a little bit after divorce, so it's real. It's real. So that culture. Part of the culture that I grew up in and grinded out, man, and been blessed not to, you know what I'm saying, been lost a lot of good men along the way, man, even incarcerated or through death, man, and somehow all praises to God, man. He kept his hand on me, not better than anybody, with straight humility, man. Just thankful that his course for me has been different.
Yeah.
And so, real talk. That's what it was.
Let's give it up for making it out, man. Man made it out. He made it out. Shout out to Shooter Rob.
Yeah, so Shooter, so in your journey in Shooter Sports, man, you also was able to open up a few stores, right? So it was in Baltimore too, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so Shooter was in Baltimore. You know what I mean? You had the Pennsylvania Avenue store. You had the one at Camp Springs.
Yep.
You had the other one over there by Run and Shoot.
Rivertown.
Yeah, and now you got Rivertown too?
I had Rivertown.
Oh.
We had Camp Springs. We had my cousin Ronnie, who started with me. He opened up in Waldorf Pinefield Shopping Center. So, yeah, we've always had a brick and mortar, and we expanded and had, quite a few stores.
So you went from expansion now to one mega store.
Yes.
And what is the differences in that?
Well, the difference is the rent. Definitely.
The bills.
The bills. Because you got all those different stores. My one regret in throughout these 27 years is ownership.
Yeah,
I never took that serious enough to just buy a building and make that happen. So that's one of my goals in the future. And giving back to even other entrepreneurs is us being able to actually get the opportunity to own those places that we've been renting from. But being under that one roof now has allowed me to just consolidate, man. I had, like you said, I had several places in a warehouse.
In a warehouse,
And now I can keep a better eye on the product, and everything's under one roof. We got 2,500 square feet of retail space and another 2,500 square feet of just production and warehouse. So it definitely has been a blessing to kind of bring everything together on top of consolidating all those bills. And
what's the most amount of stores you had open at one time?
The most amount of stores that I had at one time, I believe, is, I want to say 3.
Okay. 3
at one time, but always trying to transition into another and grow the brand that way.
Yeah.
Just scaling the business in itself, and having a business degree, but just not understanding the dynamics. I think as you just going back to when we talked about the deal. Once I passed on that deal, I said, "Hey, man, I still got to scale my business." That And that was the thing that I had. I was like, all right, well, how can I make up the money that I just may have passed on? And that was to open up more stores. But opening up more stores actually comes with a lot more responsibility.
Where you say you got your business degree from?
Man, Virginia State, man. Shout out to Virginia State, man.
VSU.
What you trying to say?
Nah, I'm saying, you know, I don't know.
We're still 27 years in, man. Come on.
Yeah, man.
You did something right. Shout out to VSU, man. Got my man Shooter Rob.
And Easton, man.
And Eastern High School.
Yeah,
That's where he got his degree
That's where he got it.
don't play, goddamn.
That's where he got. That's where he got the business degree from.
Yeah, my first business degree from Easton.
Yeah, 17th Street, Southeast. Yes, sir.
So you ever thought about like, because I mean, your expansion stayed in the same market. Like, never thought about, well, let's go back down to where Virginia State at, or let's go to Richmond or North Carolina, something like that.
So I did. I looked at Atlanta. I got a couple good brothers, like I said, from New York that still come down. They buy stuff wholesale. We was in Queens and Gertz Mall, and we did some wholesale. Haven't really set up the franchise piece. You know, tried it, but just couldn't work out all the details of it because, like you said, idealistically and then actually the application. The degree part of it gives you the application of it, but it don't really work like that in real life. You know, you get it, you understand it, but the reality of it is, man, this shit don't work like that.
Now you gotta get somebody to consult that's already in the industry, that's already made those deals, already been through with it. Because experience is the key, right? You can do whatever you want. You can go read that book, learn from that professor all you want.
Right.
But they don't know the hurdles.
Right.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, they don't know the hurdles you gotta go through to deal with things, man. So, nah, man, I'm saying like expansion like that, because I mean, I talk to Scooby about it sometimes, right? If you get $1 from 200 people in every major city,
It's a lot of money.
that's a lot of money.
Yeah.
It's a lot of money, Scoob.
A lot of money. He tried. I mean, he had 3 stores.
And the internet is opening our eyes to that, right? Because look at these millionaires just making money just off making TikTok videos, just being silly.
Yeah. It's a new world.
Yeah.
It is.
New
man.
gold rush, man.
Man,
Attention is the new
But people
drug.
have been doing that already, though, right? We are just seeing it,
Yeah.
right? And we hold ourselves in captivity sometimes. Like, we all fighting in the same pool to get the same money.
Right. And that's we not really utilizing each other, man. Like you said, we are fighting in the same pool, and that's not the way it should be.
Yeah.
Right? Because if you link together and you put the bands on the road, or we link together and put the clothing lines together where they moving in different areas, and people say this is what DC is.
Yeah.
Right. It's bigger than just one band making it, right? Or one band having a hit song, or different things like that. When you start doing that, you become. I mean, just from a business standpoint, y'all become your own genre of music, even though y'all are.
Right.
But the reality on a nationwide level, as well as you want to go international. But you get certain artists and they hot. But look, even that, come back and make sure that this culture grows to the next level. And that's the reality. It's like you said, we sitting here fighting over peanuts. That's what I took away from the competitiveness, and even one of the barriers we got to break down now. Unfortunately, DC, even in that same culture, we got a grind mode, man. We dogs, man. And they say that in the prisons, but they also even reality, man. We cutting each other, unnecessarily, because guess what? It's plenty out here, and the reality is we compete with each other instead of locking in the way they do, when they in and motherfucking expanding our brand across the whole United States, man. So our culture is so rich, man. We so well respected. We just got to be able to, get the right people in a place with the right mindsets to really just, man, make this something bigger than what it is. And that's just my thoughts. But I mean, just put you guys. This shit is what y'all doing right now.
Yeah,
man. I and not trying to be funny is real.
Yeah,
because man, you're not gonna have. It's very hard to get 2 businesses in the same to sit down and y'all sitting here doing this. You know, y'all can have this, man. This shit is big, man.
Yeah.
It's bigger than, you know, what people think, man. Man, to see that for our culture, you know, I just want y'all to continue to do what you do. Continue to open up those doors.
Yeah.
Truly, man, it's a blessing to see y'all, and y'all are the icons of knocking down some of these barriers that we have where we can't work together.
Yeah.
So, man, once again, man.
Shout out to Dirk.
SiriusVybe, man. Yeah. Shout out to both of y'all, man. Y'all
Man,
fly,
this dude must be sleepy, man.
Nah, I'm a little fried.
Joke time, man.
So Rob, who was your first go-go band you went to see?
First go-go band I went to see was Junkyard.
Okay.
My favorite bands that I used to go see was probably Essence and Chuck.
Yeah.
That was my go-to.
Yeah.
But I love some Junk, probably because they was right there from South and Bugs and all of it.
Where was they at when you seen them the first time?
I think I first seen them down at I want to say Vendors Mall.
Oh, okay.
Where they used to just play down Vendors Mall and all that. Like not even in that club or nothing like that.
Outside.
And I just outside.
Yeah. Set up
The buckets, and I'm like, man, what the? But the reality, that was it, man. That was it for me. And after that, man, it was probably Ashens and Chuck. Right?
Yeah.
Just chasing the culture.
Chasing the culture. That's what we're gonna call it.
Chasing the culture.
Which culture you like better?
It was a lot of cultures down there.
Which culture was better?
Absolutely. Both of them.
And their ways, huh? Depends on what kind of mood you was in.
Yeah, both of them did what they were supposed to do.
Yeah, they was culturing.
It was culturing.
Culturing.
Yeah.